Welcome to NEXTGames' Intense Ambuscade series, November 2022 against Iron Giants. Now we've seen this run a few times before now, and I had previously presented a fairly easy way to get a normal win solo. However, they have changed this run this time around, and both Iron Giants now have massive defense bonuses if neither is frozen. So my previous strategy of keeping them within 15% health of each other will no longer work, and you won't have enough time to finish the run if you're using that old strategy. Due to this, I'll be presenting how to beat it on easy solo this time around, and this same strategy can be used by parties this month, as well as for groups that had previously been beating this by keeping the Giants within 15% health of each other. Let's go ahead and start with key item acquisition. This month, it's 1 Arcana kill for your first run of the day, and 3 Arcana kills for multiple runs in the same day. These are fairly easy to get by heading to Romov with Void Watch Warp, or by using any of the home points in Sky, as you see me doing here. Now in regards to the fight itself, it's against 2 Iron Giants, a Flame, and an Ice. Now as mentioned before, both will have a very strong defensive resistance to begin the fight with. Now it's only once you get one of them 15% health below the other one that the lower health one will freeze and no further damage can be done to it. Now it's at this time that this defensive resistance trait will drop and you can start doing normal amounts of damage. Now in addition to that, the Ice Giant will take increased damage from physical attacks at this time, and the Flame Giant will take increased damage from magical attacks at this time. So during that first 15%, I recommend focusing on the Flame Giant with all of your damage to try and get him to 85% as soon as possible. This initial phase can be most challenging, and what makes it most difficult is the fact that both Giants will be continually using the move Cyclone Turbine, which is an AoE dispel and damage ability. Now to combat this, you want everyone within 20 foot of range to keep up shadows at all times. Now this is fairly easy to do on Ninja, but it can be quite difficult to keep up shadows with the Ninja sub-job if both of the Giants are within range, which will lead to your haste buffs often getting dispelled. All you can try and do is keep those shadows up, and if you're dual wielding, swap in more dual wield gear until you have those buffs back. Now once you get the Flame Giant to 85%, they will stop spamming just that ability and start using the Iron Giant's more devastating abilities, such as Eradicator, which is a 20 foot AoE weakness ability, Seismic Impact, which is an AoE slow, terrorize, and hate reset ability, Arm Cannon, which will inflict max hit point and magic point down, and Ballistic Kick, which is another hate reset ability and that will also encumber you. Now in addition to all of this, the Ice Giant will use Mana Font and spam Blizzaga spells. This is the most dangerous time of this run, and you must quickly get through the Ice Giant's phase to reduce the risk of wiping to a series of these spells. So once that Flame Giant freezes at 85%, your job is to quickly take the Ice Giant below 60%. Now fortunately, with how much damage the Ice Giant will now take, it won't be overly difficult. Savage Blade, as well as the other high damage weapon skills, can often tear through this phase in just a few seconds, which is important due to the previously mentioned risk during this phase. Now once the Ice Giant freezes, it's time to go back to work on the Flame Giant. Now the Flame Giant will be weak to magic damage, so if you have access to magic weapon skills, that will normally work well, but so will Skill Chains and Magic Burst. Now the Flame Giant stages will normally take a bit longer than the Ice Giant stages, so make sure you use that time to rebuff and get ready for the next Ice Giant stage. You will go in this back and forth pattern until one of them dies. Now when one of them dies, the other will die as well, but the run is not over. Shortly after that, the head of the second one will appear with the same health its master had before it died. You want to quickly take out this head that should only have a few percent left, as it has some pretty nasty abilities that can really slow you down if left alive. Now for Trust this month, I recommend using Joaquin and Arcelia for the haste cap and cures, Yoran Oran and Monburl for cures as well, and then in that last slot you can use Coltada for some extra attack buffs, Archie V to tank for you, or even Matsui P for a little extra damage. Now for party setups this month, you want to use the same strategy that I recommend here, but you will have the freedom to spread out a bit to help members of your party avoid some of these attacks. Also keep in mind that the usual dual ninja strategy that we've used previously cannot really be used this month because the blue one really should be tanked by a paladin due to that risk from the Blizzaga spam. So a good party setup would be a paladin to tank the blue one, and to pull it about 30 feet away from the rest of the group, and then have the ninja tank the red one, and then proper support that can add in Savage Blade and magic damage. So Red Mage, Corsair, Bard, and White Mage would all be a good choice for this month to round out the party. Now the main thing you will need to be careful of is the transition to the Ice Giant, as if too much time is taken to freeze him, the group can wipe to that Mana Font Blizzard spam that I've been speaking of. Now in regards to my battle examples, in the main window, you're seeing me take this on with Ninja using Katana for a mixture of Shun spam on the Blue Giant and 2 and Chi spam on the Red Giant. Now if you don't have the gear for proper 2 and Chi spam yet, you can also simply continue spamming Blade Shun on the Red Giant, but being sure to dual magic burst each time. Now in the upper right window, you're seeing me on Ninja still, but now I'm using Savage Blade spam, and the result is the fastest clear time of the day for me. So really, any job that can keep shadows up and spam Savage Blade should be in a good place this month on the easy difficulty. Now my final battle example, which will follow this one, will be of my Dragoon, and was meant to show how a run goes when using a Trust tank this month. This was also my fastest run of the day with Dragoon, and the only one in which I didn't sub Ninja, so know that even though you don't see me using it in that example, I still do recommend it, as it really does help with all of the dispels for the first 15% of the run. That will be all I have to share for this month's run. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of the battle examples. that's going to be it for the November 2022 Intense Ambuscade against Iron Giants. I hope you found that helpful. If this is your first visit to my channel and you enjoyed the content, please be sure to click the subscribe button under the video and the bell icon next to it to be notified when my future videos are released. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Stay safe and stay healthy out there.